Simon Bradbury, talk to me about how Thomas Morris are dealing with the estate agency model in the summer and autumn of 2020. Talk to me.
Wow. Okay. With grit and determination and facing up to the challenges that we have. So this isn't just at Thomas Morris, all estate agents have got this huge challenge currently in the marketplace where there's massive demand, significant amounts of supply and lots of stuff happening. And what we've got to try and do as an industry, and certainly at Thomas Morris, is working out amongst all that stuff where all the real activity is.
Because I'm being told that in June and July, the demand was greater than the supply, which means anything was selling. But since we've been moving into late August and September, there's been a lot more, whilst demand has remained quite high, supply has now started to match it, and in some locations go a little bit above. Are you finding that in Cambridgeshire?
Okay. No, I have to say not. I mean, the last 3 months at Thomas Morris, the last 3 months, so that's June, July, and August, we have had 28% more listings, instructions than we did in the same time period in 2019, and about 30% more sales agreed. So they're very, very equal. Sorry, you're going to say something?
Would it surprise you that myself and my team looked at 110 locations in the UK and went back from the middle of September and looked back 1 month, one calendar month, and looked at all the houses that had come onto the market in those 100 towns and cities, and then worked out how many of them actually agreed a sold subject to contract? And only 1 in 5 had agreed a sale.
Okay, but that's within 1 month.
Yeah, now obviously there's going to be some properties that have just come onto the market, that last week,
Yes.
which I wouldn't expect to
Yes.
be sold subject to contract.
Yes.
But the ones that have been on the market 3 or 4 weeks,
Yes.
if the market was as alive as you say it is,
Yes.
nationally,
Yes.
then I would expect more to be sold subject to contract.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It's difficult for me to comment on the market nationally.
Okay, but 1 in 5, do you would expect that to be more? I mean, in some locations, it is 6 in 10 that have sold.
Yes.
But in central London, it's 1 in 10.
Yeah. I'm sure each local area is going to be performing differently, but that does sound a low figure to me.
I mean, is the sample was in excess of 17,000 properties.
Right.
And again, I know I've only just sprung that number on you. I think the point I'm trying to get across is it as frothy as we think it is?
Okay.
Or are we just looking at the good stuff and just ignoring the ones that are on the market?
I think at this moment in time, I can only speak from our experience, it is as frothy as we are saying it is. Whether that will continue or not is a different matter, but it is as frothy. It's probably frothier.
I mean, were you in a state agency no, you wouldn't have been in the state agency in '88, would you?
Yes, I was, yeah.
All right. Well, you obviously had a good paper round, not a tough one. We got very frothy in '88 with the virus being.
Yeah.
How do the markets compare?
I'm reluctant, frankly, to make any real comparisons because there's so many different variables comparing that market to this market. If you're asking me about what we think is going to happen in the future, then that's a different thing.
Okay, so we've got this stamp duty thing, which means that properties really need to be sold by November, and I'm hearing an awful lot. There's a lot of estate agents that are overvaluing to get the stock.
Right.
I know, there is a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll have a cliff edge?
I don't.
Why?
Because the beauty of markets is that often things are so unpredictable, but they do tend ultimately to forge their way through and be very positive. I'll give you a really good example. When we're in the depths of mega lockdown, or whatever phrase one wants to use, I was thinking to myself, crumbs, when we come out of this, people's confidence is so shattered. People's thoughts about buying and selling and renting are so shattered. This thing isn't going to come back. That's genuinely what I thought was going to be the case. And the absolute antithesis has happened. So what I'm thinking, my guess is that there isn't going to be the cliff edge that people anticipate there's going to be for a number of variables. Firstly, I would think it likely that the government will see the potential cliff edge and the potential downside of that and turn it from a cliff edge to a gentle slope. That's what I think. I don't know how they'll do that, but they probably, at some macroeconomic level, will sort that out. That would be the first thing. The second thing is, having seen some peaks and troughs over the years, we all know the adage that property and investment in property, whether one invests literally to rent the property out or whether one's investing in it as a home, is a long-term game. And I believe that ultimately that will come through. Now, I might be being naive and I might be sitting with you perhaps on your lovely sofa on the 1st of April and saying, no, Chris, I got it wrong. I don't know. But I just don't get the sense that we're heading for some cliff edge.
The market can't continue at this level, though.
Why not?
Transaction. Because it's just absolutely manic. It's going to have to run out of
Why can't it, though?
Because people will move. You're telling me that we're going to go from a nation of moving every 18 or 19 years to a nation of moving every 8 years just because of this?
Okay, right. Well, we moved from 8 or 9 years to 18 and 19 years. Why couldn't that? Why couldn't that become?
The 8 or 9 years was in the late 80s, and the 19 years was 18, 19 years is today.
Yes.
And it has been a slow thing. The natural level's about 15 years, and we did have a natural drop in 2008-9 with the credit crunch.
Yeah.
But unless people, and again, neither you or I will know this, unless people's mindset of treating the home as a home has fundamentally changed, then
I just think all I was challenging you on there is I don't.
Do you think people have changed? They're seeing the house as a completely different kettle of fish because they've had to. You're not just seeing it as an investment model, but as somewhere to actually live in. Could this actually be a good thing?
Okay, as with all of these situations, they're much more complicated than they first appear. Some people do see it as an investment model. Other people do just see it as a home. What I'm saying is that I would challenge, when you said, well, obviously it can't continue going like this, what I would say is, why not? Why couldn't it keep on going like this? Why could not it continue?
I can't disagree with you because no one could have even admitted that they would know what
No.
in the depths of depression of April.
Yeah.
But I mean, the recession is going to be hitting next year. We've got 300 or 400 billion pounds to pay back.
Yes, okay. So the dreaded R word. Again, I think we have to be a bit careful. So you feel free, as ever, Chris, to disagree with me on this. And who knows again what's going to happen? But
And Brexit.
Which can only be a positive thing in many, many ways, that the degree of uncertainty surrounding Brexit is going to be, if not evaporated, the degree of uncertainty will certainly be reduced.
I think the magic thing is, Simon, only time will tell on this one, mate.
It will do.
And I look forward to chatting with you again.
Me too.
In 2021, where we can probably catch up on this one and
Yes.
see. It's not a case of who's right or who's wrong.
I'm with you.
It's just a case of two blokes sitting down the proverbial pub. I know it's not down the pub.
No,
Discussing life, and
that's right. And perhaps next time it won't be at a respectful social distance.
it will hope not. In fact, I look forward to getting back to the shows where we can have a good man hug and a pint of refreshing beer.
Right back at you.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you for watching.